Thunder Bay road crews and residents are left digging out after the latest spring storm. Good evening and thank you for joining us. Despite the fact we're now a couple weeks into spring, winter has yet to release its grip on the Northwest.
The huge snowstorm hit the city yesterday and overnight, with some areas seeing up to 30 centimeters. City roads crews and residents alike were hard at work today clearing up the mess. TBT's Ryan Graham has the story.
It's hard to believe we're now in April, as Mother Nature has decided that winter isn't over just yet. The region was hit with what could be the biggest snowstorm so far this year, with a heavy downfall lasting from Wednesday afternoon until early Tuesday morning. City Roads Division Manager Ian Spoldrich says crews have been hard at work since Wednesday evening.
So we had equipment out sanding and salting the roads. Once that accumulation got pretty high, we had plows out at 2 a.m. Doing the priority routes. They were done those around 8 a.m. this morning, and then they moved into residential streets.
After cleaning up the main routes, crews moved on to residential areas, which typically takes around 72 hours. Crews are also out clearing sidewalks, which they're hoping to finish by the weekend. Spoldrich explains storms around this time of year can be more difficult.
These late winter, early spring storms are usually a challenge because we'll see that rapid melt come in the next few days, and we may be dealing with the localized flooding around catch basins or maybe some culverts and ditches backing up.
Meanwhile, residents were also busy digging themselves out.
Well, a typical spring day in Thunder Bay. You get out with your shovel and get rid of the snow.
How long have you been out here today?
I was out first thing in the morning at 7. Snow blowing so the wife can go to work.
Well, they've been calling for the storm for about 3 days, so we're pretty much ready for it. It did drop a lot, and it's really heavy, so it's kind of hard to move around.
Some of the shovelers we spoke to had mixed reactions to this latest dump of snow.
We had more snow this year than we had last year, but yeah, it's lingering on. It's time to go.
I wouldn't mind getting another fresh dump of snow just to have a hot maple taffy. Evening in my backyard with my family and friends, because I'm French and that's what we like to do.
Environment Canada is calling for a high of +7 on Friday, but with up to 30 centimeters of snow from that big storm, it's going to take a little while for all of it to melt. Ryan Graham, TBT News.
Well, the winter storm also impacted Thunder Bay Transit last night. Some routes or sections of routes were canceled due to the poor road conditions. School buses were all canceled this morning as well, and rural schools were closed. Canada Post also issued a red service alert suspending all mail deliveries today, but they're expected to resume tomorrow.
A public meeting has been set to get citizen input on a major new development on Gulf Links Road. There's a lot of speculation that the planned retail warehouse and gas bar will be a long-awaited Costco. Acting Senior Planner Shannon LaBelle says the proposed zoning amendments will be part of the April 14th City Council agenda.
So a mailed notice was sent out to residents within 120 meters of the subject site. There's also a sign posted on the site that has the meeting details. But for those listening, the meeting is going to be held at 6:30 p.m. at Council Chambers. So that's Monday, April 14th at 6:30 p.m. in Council Chambers. It's a public meeting in order for any comments to be heard from the public, the applicant, or whoever else wishes to speak at the public meeting. They can provide their comments on the application, and this is when Council will be taking a vote on the proposed rezoning as well.
The retail warehouse would be just over 15,000 square meters in size. The property developer, Forum, is seeking zoning amendments for the size of the building, the required landscaping, the driveway size, and the gas bar. This image shows the proposed building on the left next to plans for a Costco outlet that was recently built in Oregon. And the two buildings are seemingly identical, but LaBelle says any confirmation that the project is actually a Costco would have to come from officials with Forum.
The tenant hasn't been told to us. However, it's really up to the owner if they want to disclose that information.
Okay, so there is a slight possibility if the owner would like to disclose that.
Correct. Yeah, it's up to the owner. Right.
I've also been asked to straight up ask, is this a Costco?
Unfortunately, as part of the application process, that information wasn't provided to us, so I just don't have that information to share.
Okay, well, turning to international news, Canada may have escaped the brunt of the tariffs that U.S. President Donald Trump announced yesterday, but the 25% auto tariffs that were previously announced took effect overnight.
Prime Minister Mark Carney responded today. CTV's Siobhan Morris has the details.
If you look at that.
While Donald Trump didn't levy new tariffs against Canada from the White House's Rose Garden, today the Prime Minister acknowledges
the global economy is fundamentally different today than it was yesterday.
Mark Carney calls the 3 different tariffs Canada is already under unjustified, now hitting back on auto tariffs that kicked in overnight.
With 25% tariffs on all vehicles imported from the United States that are not compliant with CUSMA, our North American Free Trade Agreement.
The U.S. content in CUSMA-compliant vehicles will be tariffed too, but there will be no tariffs on vehicle parts.
We take these measures reluctantly, and we take them in ways that it's intended and will cause maximum impact in the United States and minimum impact here in Canada.
The counter tariffs could generate some $8 billion, money to go back to auto workers and companies. Carney adds the government's working on a framework for automakers
to get relief from these counter tariffs as long as they maintain their production and investment in our country.
It's an approach that has the support of Ontario's Premier.
I think it's a fair response.
Even if the tariff on some Canadian-made cars is lower, Doug Ford worries about car makers packing up in Canada to appease the U.S. president.
I think the threat's very high. Even at 12.5%, these auto companies aren't making money hand over fist.
Auto tariffs already disrupting lives in a big way, with Stellantis shutting down its assembly plant in Windsor for at least 2 weeks starting Monday.
This is devastating for us.
If it was just 2 weeks, it wouldn't be that bad. But we don't know what's going to happen after the 2 weeks.
The company has also temporarily closed plants in Mexico and the United States as it assesses the impact of tariffs. In Windsor, it means uncertainty for some 6,000 workers at the assembly plant and with related parts makers.
It's not pretty. I don't think he realizes the impact he's got on even his people.
I want to retire here. If I lose this, then I've got nowhere else to go, really.
That was CTV's Siobhan Morris reporting. A suspicious death in Pikangikum First Nation is now officially classified as a homicide. OPP identified the victim last week as 50-year-old Douglas Turtle of Pikangikum. Today, OPP announced the arrest of a 17-year-old suspect who's been charged with second-degree murder. The accused is being held in custody and is scheduled to appear in court in Kenora next week. Police are thanking the community for information that assisted with their investigation.
Thunder Bay police have a pair of Toronto teenagers in custody after a significant drug and weapon bust yesterday afternoon. Officers were called to the 1100 block of East Donald Street after reports about 2 unwanted people in a home who refused to leave. A loaded handgun was found, and police also seized fentanyl, cocaine, and cash. 2 boys from Toronto, aged 15 and 14, were arrested and charged with drug trafficking and firearms offenses, along with being unlawfully in a dwelling.
Thunder Bay's Polar Bear Plunge is coming up this Sunday afternoon, and organizers of the popular fundraiser are celebrating a major milestone.
The annual event has raised nearly $1 million for charity since its inception. Justin Hardy has the details.
3, 2, 1, go!
The Polar Bear Plunge has become a staple of spring in Thunder Bay, with hundreds of locals taking part every year. Each plunger is tasked with raising money for local charities. According to event chair Maggie Ferenc from the main sponsor, PDR Contractors, the annual campaign is closing in on $1 million raised since the first plunge 15 years ago.
The original Polar Plunge started in 2010, and the goal was $10,000, and they did end up raising $11,000. There was a couple-year break because of COVID, and this year we are a few $1,000s off of $1 million of total proceeds to Thunder Bay.
Since the return from COVID, the plunge has been smashing its goal every year. This year, the plunge has raised over $120,000 and climbing. Despite the success, Ferenc says the campaign won't likely raise the goal from its current $75,000.
We always keep the goals kind of where it is because we know that that's a sufficient amount of funds for the proceeds, the 4 charities in Thunder Bay, as well as we know that times are tough in the world, so anything that counts, we don't want to push people too much, but we appreciate that everything that everyone's been giving Also, we want to say a big shout out to Domtar. They have, between their teams, have raised $32,000 alone so far for this polar bear plunge. And we're really excited about them and excited to see them jump.
The schedule for the 2025 Polar Plunge has been released, and those that have already signed up can check their time slot on the campaign's Facebook page. If you still wish to sign up or donate, you can do so in person on Plunge Day or online. Justin Hardy, TBT News.
Young innovators gathered for the Northwestern Ontario Regional Science Fair this week, showcasing months of research and creativity.
The event at Confederation College brought together students to present projects on things like environmental science, technology, health, and more. Jaden Billick was there.
Nearly 100 students taking part in the 61st Annual Regional Science Fair were putting their own curiosity and creativity to the test. The young researchers filled the Confederation College's Tech Hub with their projects, showcasing all areas of science and the newest cutting-edge technology. Co-chair of the fair, Rebecca Cross, explains how the students are hoping to earn top marks from the judges.
The students compete at the school level first, and then the top students from those schools then come on here to compete. Our top 6 projects from grades 7 to 12 then get to go on and compete at the national fair. So we have a huge team of judges from across Thunder Bay region, and they are here to have the students be their teachers.
Students from all over the region in grades 4 to 12 have completed an original project in STEM of their own interest. We interviewed a few of these young Einsteins, and they were more than glad to talk about their pieces.
So my project is about how anthropogenic clouds can help slow down the effects of climate change. Clouds actually had a pretty substantial effect on the amount of heat that was getting through, but I'm surprised at how little cloud you need to reflect a lot of heat.
I decided to research if any microplastics were present in agricultural soils right now. In southern Ontario, there were microplastics present in the soil, so that was my first concentration level. I did not find any correlation between microplastics and lower germination and survival rates, but in terms of plant growth, they did grow slower. The plants with microplastics did grow slower, and they were shorter at the end of the 20 days.
Grade 6 student from Elsie McGill, Peyton Grimard, put together a very interesting and visually appealing project about land, air, and specifically water pollution. She says she loves the ocean and the marine life it holds, and dislikes how much waste our planet pollutes it with every year.
Some of my findings were that the animals don't normally think that plastic is plastic. They will eat it thinking it's food, so it'll get caught in their digestive system and eventually kill them. And one of the hardest things was probably finding a good website that actually tells the truth.
Once the judges decide the top 6 winners of this contest, an awards ceremony will be held on Friday evening. Jaden Billick, TBT News.
Applause Productions is back with another exciting show. The Lightning Thief, the Percy Jackson musical, is running this weekend at Trinity Church Hall.
Musical. I didn't ask to be a hero seeking praise.
The musical follows 16-year-old Percy Jackson as he discovers that he's the half-blood son of Poseidon, turning his world upside down. When he's accused of stealing Zeus's master lightning bolt, Percy embarks on a perilous quest to find and return it, proving his innocence and preventing a war. Along the way, he battles mythical monsters, journeys to the underworld, and faces prophecies that warns of betrayal. With an eager cast of high schoolers ready to bring this epic adventure to life, opening night can't come soon enough.
I'm excited to just show the people what we have. We've been working on this for a long time now, working very hard, so I'm excited for people to see the passion and how excited we are for it.
It's such a fun show. It's family friendly. We've got a great live band. We've got some fight choreo, amazing vocals, and it's just so fun.
I gotta say, definitely come and see it. It's a great time all around, whether you're coming with family, with friends. It's just a great story, and as Joelle said, it's just great all around.
Tickets are available for purchase online or at the door. Tomorrow is opening night, with another performance on Saturday night and 2 shows on Sunday at 2 and 7 p.m.
Looks like a lot of fun, and looks like they really worked very hard on that one. All right, well, Fiona, Mother Nature was working hard over the last 24 hours or so. We may not have liked what she produced for us, though, but I'm hoping it's over and done now.
Well, you know, at this time of year, I don't want to speak too soon because, you know, somebody might hear and throw us a curveball. And I mean, 3 storms in 3 weeks. I think that's enough of a curveball. Fortunately, some of us didn't have to spend too much time out there shoveling. Some of us have incredible neighbors who love to snowblow. I am definitely one of those. Thank you very much to my neighbor who was very handy with the snowblower in the back lane today. It continued to snow in some parts, especially to the north for part of the day, but as you can see this afternoon, for the most part, it is headed out. Greenstone still has a few odd flurries here and there, but all in all, not bad. The snow ended in Thunder Bay by around 9 a.m. this morning, and then we were left with cloudy skies. We topped out with a high of 3 after an overnight low of -3 and wind chills of -8. Winds are still a little bit gusty, not as strong as they were yesterday by any means, but ranging from about 19 to 41 kilometers per hour and coming from the west-northwest instead of from the east off the lake. Now, if we take a look at what's going on across the region at this hour, as you can see, majority of the snow has moved out. Greenstone did have snow in the last couple of hours, so it's nice to see that it is finally tapered off. Temperatures to the west, very consistent, 3, even 4 Celsius, mostly cloudy in Red Lake for most of the day. Fort Frances had the exact same temperatures as Thunder Bay, a low of -3, a high on the plus side. And Sault Ste. Marie has been above the freezing mark all day long, topped out at 4 Celsius this afternoon. They had a couple of brief showers instead of rain. Right now they're under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight we will drop down to -8 and wind chills of -11, so a good bit cooler than last night under partly cloudy skies. And although we will still remain a little bit gusty this evening, it will taper off and things are looking good heading into Friday. As we already heard from the other Ryan on the crew, we're going to see very nice temperatures for Friday, but don't expect that to continue. It's going to be a little bit cooler than that heading into next week, and we've still got a few shots at a little bit of snow, so it's not going to change for the better like that. It's going to be a slow process.
All right, well, I'm glad that we have a little bit of a reprieve, however, because I do have it on good authority that although Ryan did find some people, some very nice people to talk to who were out shoveling today, there were many others who were in no mood to speak about the gift that Mother Nature left for us.
And keeps giving.
And keeps giving, yeah, exactly.
Generous.